Welcome to Khetz tutorial, and in this video I'll be covering question 27 from A exercises in James Stewart calculus. So this is a quadratic inequality, and to solve it we're just going to find critical values, then check where we have positive and negative values. But this is the condition which we're trying to satisfy right now. So if I just move this one to the left hand side, I have 2x squared plus x minus 1 less equal 0. So this question is basically asking us where this quadratic function is less than or equal to 0. And if we were to draw the graph, basically asking us which section of the graph is above the x-axis. That's all that this question is asking for. So you can either draw the graph to find those intervals or that interval, or you can do it this way, which is my preferred method. So first we're going to find critical values. So to find critical values, we're just going to continue with this question just like we would if we had an equal sign. So now we're going to factorize. So this is my factorization method. I'm just going to quickly walk you through it. So I'm going to multiply a and c, so I get minus 2. Factors of minus 2, which give me b, which is currently plus 1. And that would be 2 minus 1, right? So I'm going to convert that 1 into these factors which we just found using that method. So first multiplied a and c to get minus 2. Then we looked for factors of minus 2 which we can add to get b. So if you add 2 and minus 1, you're going to get 1 because b is 1. So now you're going to express that 1 as 2 and minus 1. So this is just x, right? But I converted it into these factors. So then that's what I have. I'm going to factorize on this side. Then this will give me x plus 1. If I factorize a negative there, I have x plus 1 there as well. Then these two are common brackets, which means I can take them out. 2x minus whatever is there. In this case, just have minus 1 less equals 0. So the critical values are basically the roots which you'd find if you had an equal sign. So in this case, x would be, so these are critical values, x equals minus 1, as well as x equals to a half, right? So these are our critical values. Now that we have these critical values, we're going to start drawing a number line which you're going to use to answer the question. So remember, we're looking for places where this expression is less equal to 0. In other words, where it's equal to 0 or where it has a negative y or a negative evaluation, which is a negative answer. So now we're going to put our critical values down, minus 1 and a half. Then we're going to find what the sign is for each of these sections. So the first section is this section, which is numbers which are less than minus 1. The next section would be numbers which are between minus 1 and a half. The last section is numbers which are between a half or which are greater than a half. So we're going to evaluate, we're going to pick random numbers in each of these sections and then assign a sign. And whichever number which we choose basically answers for all of them. So if we choose, when we pick a number which is less than minus 1, let's say minus 2, then we're going to substitute minus 2 into this part. So we're going to have minus 2 plus 1, which is minus 1 in the first bracket. Then minus 2 multiplied by 2 would be minus 4, minus 1, which would be minus 5. If you multiply these, we get, so we're only interested in the sign. We get a positive answer. So there, you're going to have a positive answer, right? Then we're going to go to the next section. The next section is between minus 1 and a half. We have 0 in between there, so you can choose 0. It's a simple number to work with. If you substitute 0 in the first bracket here, we're going to have 1. In the second one, we're going to have minus 1. 1 multiplied by minus 1 gives us a negative value, okay? Then in the last section, which is number which is greater than a half, we can choose 1. So if we choose 1, we're going to have 2 in the first bracket, and we're going to have 1 in the second bracket, and this is positive. Now we're going to go back to the question. Question said, where is this less or equal to 0, or where is this equal to 0 or negative? And this section answers this. Now we're going to close the dot, or we're going to have shaded dots, because we also have an equal sign there as part of the expression. So if we substitute -1 into this, in the first bracket you're going to have 0. 0 multiplied by anything is 0, which also satisfies that because it says less equal to 0. And the same thing should apply when you substitute a half. Then if you substitute any number which is in between -1 and a half, it should basically satisfy this condition, which means you answer the question. So our answer then is x is an element of -1 to a half included. And that is what these square brackets mean. They basically mean that we're including -1 and a half. Another way to write this would be this. So x. Right. So just note that we have less equal to over there. And that will be your answer for this question.